big picture, you're creating a cultural positionality map, an
Yeah.
outline for the YouTube video, and your 5 to 6 minute YouTube video presentation. And the how to create the graphic video is there. The step by step on how to use Adobe Express, which is going to be important for other projects too, is there.
Okay.
And we also have past these steps the example map of what you're going to be filling in. And you might also note that under the important map notes, if you don't feel comfortable saying something, you can just omit that particular dimension.
Yeah.
And so these are the different categories. Here's an example, a specific example. And of course, when you create your outline to create your video, you're going to follow these steps right here.
The image. Do we have that in the video as well?
No, you don't need to necessarily have that in the video because it's in your Adobe Express page, which you are going to have your video embedded into. So this is what you're looking at as an Adobe Express page, right? It's the same
Right.
thing. So at the
Right.
top of your Adobe Express page, you're going to have, Braden's intercultural assignment or whatever. And then you're going to have your outline, right? And your video on top embedded in your actual map that looks like this.
Mm-hmm.
You create the graphic, right? You create the outline, and
Yeah.
then create the video, and all that goes in the Adobe Express page.
So you put the YouTube video in the
Yeah,
Adobe Express page. Okay.
yeah. You just embed it. Yeah. So first you go to YouTube and you upload it, and then you embed it.
Okay. So is it just this Adobe outline and then the video? And is that all that's needed for this assignment?
Adobe outline, video, and the map.
Can you show me where on here what the outline looks like?
Sure. So if you scroll past the second step here, where it shows you how to do and access Adobe Express,
Uh-huh.
and past the example of the map that you're going to create, you'll see it right here where it says outline and video guide. And for your outline, basically you're just going to fill this in, answer this prompt, fill this in, answer this prompt, and then summarize this prompt.
Okay.
Listing your two to three motivations, the reason why you want to succeed in this class and earn your degree, your top 2 to 3 goals for this specific communication class. Sometimes people take me for multiple classes, and this is the only assignment where you can use the same first part of your introduction video, because usually identities don't change. Sometimes they do. Sometimes you decide to switch your religion. It's just within the span of a semester that doesn't usually happen.
Yeah.
So usually they'll use the first part, and then the second part they can adapt to this specific class. So the outline is the bullet points of what you're actually saying in your video. So hi, my name is Ryan McPherson. I'm majoring in communication. My plans after graduation is to teach communication courses at the University of Texas at San Antonio. Now I'm going to tell you my cultural positionality study. And I just go through each of these and just talk about each of these points, right? And then I conclude this way. So this is the outline and the video. So those are two components, right? The outline is I'm following this outline format, and I write it all out first, and then I actually shoot the video on my webcam or on my phone, and then I upload that video to YouTube. And I'm going to put this map and that video and that outline in the actual page. So the only 3 things you need to worry about are these 3 things listed here, because those are all going in your Adobe Express webpage. And a part that sometimes people get confused on is they're like, wait a second, I'm using Adobe Express to create my graphic too? So yeah, you create the graphic first using Adobe Express to create an image where you're going to create that cultural positionality map, so we can get to know those different dimensions of your identity. And then you're going to pop that image in, you're going to pop the YouTube video in, and you're going to pop the actual outline in. I'm logging in, I go here, I go to, okay, what do I want to create? I want to create a graphic. So I'm going to go to a custom size graphic. Social post. I think this is probably the easiest because it's just a square. I click next. And over here on the left, I have all these examples, right?
Yeah.
So I think the one that I used for the example was Adam. Let's see. I'm probably not there. Oh, it is still there. Crazy. So I use this as a base. I shrunk it down so that I have a little anchor graphic in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And this is up to you. This is 1,000% up to you. I'm gonna get rid of that. I don't need it. I'm going to shrink this down so I have more room. Go over here and tap on shapes. And I can find some sort of way to connect ideas. Hey, here's a fun one. Kind of matches what I'm going for. I'm going to shrink that down. Be sure to watch the videos for more, but basically you tap this and you tap right here, it says duplicate. And you can use any kind of graphic you want. You can just use a basic line here to connect them. And it's basically just a snapshot of the different dimensions on that positionality graph. And it's a demonstration of positionality, but right now you're just focusing on the specific parts of your identity. So this right here is what you're doing. This is an example of what you're doing. The number 3 is the YouTube video presentations. That's 5 to 6 minutes.
Okay.
Number 2 is the outline for that same video.
So do I write out the outline myself?
Yeah, on your Adobe Express page. So the Adobe Express page, as you can see, this is an example of one too. You can write on it, you can embed a video on it, and you can embed an image on it.
So how would I create that outline on Adobe Express?
Well, you'd go over here to Adobe Express. Well, actually, first what I would do is I would create it in Google Docs or Word, just because you'd have access to like spell check and stuff that Adobe Express doesn't necessarily give you. And that to me is pretty darn valuable.
So you click copy and paste it onto Adobe Express?
Yeah, so I would copy and paste it, yeah. So you tap this little plus button and you're gonna go down to web page right there. Okay, web, and this is where you start writing my outline. You tap this and you can put in your photo, which you are actually gonna upload your photo that you downloaded from Adobe Express earlier for your image. And then after you get done with that and you popped in your actual cultural positionality map, you're going to pop in your video, which is the YouTube link. So you're going to copy the YouTube link that you created for your 5 to 6 minute video and you're going to pop it in right here. It does not have to be word for word. It's just an outline. So as long as you're talking about the basic concept that you talked about in this bullet point and then that bullet point and that bullet point, we're good. In order to create the page that you're going to put in all 3 components in, right? So in your web page, you're going to have all 3 components listed here to pop in this, and then pop in this, and then pop in this. In order to do that, you go to that plus signal, and our plus sign in Adobe Express, and you're going to find web page right here.
How will you be able to see this once it's all there on Adobe Express?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. I'm going to click share. I'm going to click publish and share link, and it's going to say publish, and then it's going to take a second, and then you're going to copy that link, and this link is what you're actually submitting to Blackboard.
Okay.
And then in Blackboard, we'll be able to see your link, and of course, it'll pop up your video. But if you don't publish it, we can't see it. So I'm really glad you asked that question.